Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulihil kareem. So inshallah in this lesson we'll be going through Al-Muztarab. Okay? We're not going to go through the revision because we've been through revision in the last lesson. So every other few lessons, but if you're using the PowerPoints in our thing, you can go through it later on. So as a brief, we're not going to go through this one here. Okay. We say we have Muztarab. What does Muztarab mean? Let's do this thing here first. A Muztarab is what? ذو اختلاف سند أو متن. Mustarib. So basically, ikhtilaf, we say an irreconcilable. I can't spell it correctly, but you guys can figure out irreconcilable. I'm not really sure. That's not my job. Yeah, irreconcilable sanad, chain, or text. Yes, it's irreconcilable differences. Okay, so a hadith. So this is mubtada. This is the khabar. So what are we saying here? We're saying here a hadith or an hadith, a hadith with irreconcilable differences in the chain or the text. Mustaribun in the uhayl al-fanni. Is what? Mustarib is called a mustarib, some say mustarab, according to the uhayl. Uhayl is a tasghir of ahl al-fan. That's part you don't need it. Basically, if the hadith, the text or the chain has irreconcilable differences and we can't give preference to either one, then we say this is what mustarab. We don't know what the hadith is saying because you can't use this hadith. For example, we have this hadith here. Fatima bint Qais, what did she narrate? She said that I heard Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam saying, "Laysa fil mali haqqun siwa zakah." What did she say? "Laysa fil mali haqqun siwa zakah." Other than zakah, there's no duty of a Muslim in his mal. You just give zakah and that's it. You've done your job. So laysa fil mal haqqun siwa zakah. There is no duty, responsibility in your wealth apart from zakah. Another hadith from Fatima bint Qais from Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, she says, or it says, "Inna fil mali haqqan siwa zakah." There is what? There is a right, a responsibility, a duty in wealth other than zakah. So apart from zakah, there are other duties. So they're contradictory. If you look at the first one, that's Ibn Majah. So Ibn Majah, if you look at the chain, it has two parts, the black part and the blue part. And Imam Tirmidhi, the black part and the blue part is with the both. So the hadith is Gharib, Mutlaq until Amir al-Sha'bi, from him is Abu Hamza, and from his Sharik. So until Sharik is what? Gharib Mutlaq. Meaning they're the only person who did tafarrud from their shuyukh. Only they have narrated it. Fatima bin Qais, Amir al-Sha'bi, Abu Hamza, and Sharik. Now, before that, then you have the black part of the chain. That's where Imam Tirmidhi and Imam Ibn Majah chain is different. So one possibility is, if you look at it, some muhaddithun will say, we will give preference to one over the other based on who is stronger narrator. Is the chain of Ali ibn Muhammad and Yahya ibn Adam, is that stronger? Or is the chain Abdullah ibn Abdul Rahman, Muhammad ibn Tufail, is that stronger? So up till here, they all agree. They all agree on the chain here, but they disagree on the wording. So that means that something happened between here and here. If the muhaddith's conclusion is, I can't give preference to any of these two, because the A part of the chain, or the A and the B part, the B part of the sanad to me have the same value in terms of the quality of the narrators. I can't give preference to one over the other. Then we will say this hadith is mustarib. It says istirab in the hadith. What was it in this hadith? Istirab. Istirab, mustarib, to be like hitting each other, meaning confusing, contradicting, without coming to a conclusion. Yes? If one muhaddith, he says, no, I can see that this one is stronger, then it's not mustarib. So is this mustarib or not? Well, some will say not mustarib. Some will say I have a reason for preference. But if the conclusion of the muhaddith is, I can't come to a conclusion whether I should give the B part of Tirmidhi or the B part of the Majah preference, which one should I give preference? Which hadith is stronger? The Ibn Majah, the Tirmidhi hadith, because they're both contradictory. You can't both be there. But some said we have doing tatbiq as well, but that's another issue. But if you say, well, these are two hadith, they have contradictory, irreconcilable meanings, then we call it what? Hadithun mustarib. And it's istirab in the hadith. Are you following me? Understood? Any questions? Yes, it's called what? Hadithun Mustarib. And the muraja'a, we've done it last lesson. We'll do it next lesson, inshallah. So this is the muraja'a. So now what we have here, another aib of a hadith is what? Istirab. Because when you have istirab, you don't know how to do amal upon the hadith. Because you do amal on, there is a duty apart from sadaqah, or there is no duty apart from sadaqah, or from zakah. So you don't know. So you just have to leave that hadith. Okay? Subhanallah wa bihamdi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, wa nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Everyone following? Any questions before we stop today?